All right, you guys, what's up, podcast listeners? This is your host, Rafal Matuszewski, and I'm pumped today because I got a freaking haircut. I've been waiting so long to get a haircut. It's funny how simple little things like getting your hair done can bring so much joy, especially when things have been closed down forever. So I'm looking pretty sharp. I'm also pumped that things are starting to, get back to normal somewhat. The gym's open, clinic's open, seeing clients again in person. It's been super uplifting to my soul to kind of get back to a somewhat normal schedule. It's surprisingly interesting to see how much, what our old normal affected us in such a capacity. And I'm just thankful, I'm just really, really thankful for being able to do what I do. And yeah, honestly, I'm just so freaking thankful for everything. I wanted to bring up a topic, and again, I don't know what it is, but a lot of my Instagram followers have been asking about me for some reason and what I do. So my last episode was about my nutrition, and this episode is going to be about my training. And I don't think I've ever really spoken about what I do personally for exercise. And since COVID started, it's changed a lot. So the moment we shut down the gym, I started teaching Kinstretch classes on Zoom for all of our members 5 days a week. So one, I never really taught a Kinstretch class other than sending in my recorded class to get certified through the FRS. And really from there, I never led a class because I just never had time in my schedule. And then lo and behold, a pandemic happened, and now I'm teaching 5 days a week. So with my online classes, I was like, well, damn, cars and the pails and rails and transitions that I know are going to get really repetitive. So it forced me to actually get really creative and kind of put my critical thinking into play, and beautifully, like an artist, I would describe it. I've come up with a lot of different exercises to help a lot of people, and my online crew that's now, because now we're open at the gym, that's doing it in person, they've been doing it with me 5 days a week for 8 weeks, and they've seen incredible results, and it's so cool to see. So heavily, my exercise regimen is 5 days a week of Kinstretch. And if you don't know what Kinstretch is, the best way to describe it, if I had to tell it to a lay person, is it's stretching on steroids. I had a class today in person, all brand new people, other than two, and they had no idea what they were getting themselves into. And funny enough, they all loved it and all hated it at the same time, because they got into, positions that their body had a tough time, their hip internal rotators just all sucked. They couldn't do a lot of the exercises. So I'm excited to see a new set of people jump on the Kinstretch train. And again, another way to kind of describe my Kinstretch classes is you have something called your active range of motion and your passive range of motion, and essentially Kinstretch bridges the gap between the two. So even for myself, I posted maybe 2 weeks ago a before and after of my seated internal rotation, improved a lot. So I'm going to try to keep up doing 5 classes a week, not only to help others, but also selfishly build up my joints integrity and flexibility overall. And then on top of that, funny enough, a lot of people look at me as the mobility guy, rehab guy. I've gone into a phase of a little bodybuilding split because I've been kind of getting bored. And honestly, like, that's another beautiful thing about fitness and health is like you don't have to stay within your box. Like, you can explore other boxes too. And I actually grew up with a heavily bodybuilding influenced program when I first started in the industry, because that's all really there was. And functional stuff was like you bouncing on a Bosu ball with a hockey stick. So it's been interesting. Like, I do 5 days of strength and it's a bodybuilding split. So right now I'm doing chest and back, glutes, hams, and abs, and then an all shoulder day, and then a quads day, so all quad dominant knee exercises. And then my Friday is literally like biceps and triceps, like complete meathead type of stuff. That being said, I'm also creating this bodybuilding split to make it functional. I'm putting air quotes on that so it doesn't mess up my body. So in the sense that when I do my chest and back day, it's an equal part of push and pull, and my pulling exercises are like full body movement. So I have a lot of pull-ups, a lot of chin-ups. Like I kind of think about what movements are going to give my body the most bang for its buck, and also which ones are not going to cause any kind of detrimental pain. And funny enough, like if you've been following my anatomy posts, a lot of the stuff that I kind of like make fun of is kind of like the traditional bodybuilding stuff. So even today I was writing a post on, I think it was the brachioradialis or the brachial, I can't remember. I'm going through a whole phase of just like showing the anatomy of the arm. And funny enough, I made like a little jab that, excessive bicep curls could cause, like a tendinopathy in the bicep tendon or any other tendon that supports the elbow or shoulder. And lo and behold, I have an entire arms day dedicated every Friday because I'm doing a bodybuilding split. Now, there's always exceptions to the rule, right? So when I say bicep curls are useless, they are, in a sense that, if your goal is to lose fat, gain muscle, the amount of calories burned from just doing biceps and triceps are not going to be as high as you doing a set of heavy fucking step ups and then doing some sort of like core rotational movement back to back, right? So when it comes to blanket statements like exercise is stupid, there are certain times where you could do it. So if I had a client that was like, I really want bicep curls, sure, I'll throw it in, but I'll make sure they have the prerequisites. So a lot of times, gym bros or people that are so used to that bodybuilding split, a lot of times they overdo the stuff they really like. Prime example is most dudes will just do chest exercises and biceps and triceps. So they're already throwing an imbalance. And I don't really like using that word imbalance because, again, we're not supposed to be symmetrical at all based on our anatomy of our organs, but asymmetrical in the sense that you're overloading a tissue more than all the other ones. So prime example is what I just said. Guys doing their chest exercise, biceps and triceps, neglecting their legs, neglecting like anything else, and lo and behold, there's pain, right? They get medial elbow pain or lateral elbow pain, and they don't know what the hell it is. And it's like, well, how often do you hit arms? 3 days a week. How often do you hit your chest? 4 days a week. Like, you know what I mean? It's like those things add up. It's just like, if I told you to run 10 kilometers every single day, your legs would be sore and you wouldn't really want to do it again because things are going to start hurting over time. It's the same thing with overloading tissues, right? So when I designed my bodybuilding-ish program, I kept that in mind. Like, I'm not overdoing it, right? There's like, your arms are not going to fall off if you do a set of bicep curls in your workout, right? But it all kind of depends on your goals and what you want to achieve. And in my case, I was bored of my old programming that I've done for ages. I haven't done a bodybuilding styled workout and program forever. So for the next 3 months, that's what I'm focusing on. And I'm still making sure I'm hitting every single kind of movement pathway to ensure that I'm not, going to F anything up. So honestly, I think the sole piece of the message in this podcast is don't be confined in your box when it comes to exercise selection or exercise programming. Try other stuff. See if you can take some little bit of the stuff you've done in the past with some of the new stuff you're trying, blend it together. If it makes sense, it makes sense. Do it. Exercise isn't an invention. It's not an end-all be-all. So I think moving forward, everyone should try different forms of exercise and see what you like and don't like, and then build something around it. So that's it for me. Thank you guys for listening. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Share this podcast with your friends and family. Hit the show notes. Add me on Facebook and Instagram because I post a lot of videos and anatomy posts. That's it for me. Until next time, you guys. Thank you.